People are really intimidated by selling the high ticket. You don't even have to. If you just have that as a price anchor and then you have your Tom Brady mid-ticket offer, you can sell them so much easier just by having that.
Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff so I could scale up and out of the business, that I can have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that.
But yeah, so we have Taylor Hutchinson, who is a badass gym owner, on with us. So today we're going to talk about how Taylor Hutchinson shattered all-time revenue records after 5.5 years by fixing his price sheet. And this is where so many gyms go so wrong. I see it over and over and over and over again. And it's just with these price sheets and how they are and how a lot of people are taught, it's just not a winnable game. And people are really going to struggle to build a business that they don't have to always be there for 30, 40, 50 plus hours a week. And their profits are just limited. They're always kind of just within this mediocre life, and they can't bust beyond that. And the price sheet and those offers is such a major component. So Taylor, welcome. Thanks for talking to everybody about this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm super stoked to be on here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And so you've got Taylor Hutchinson Fitness. Why don't you tell us about it, where you're at, all that good stuff, and a little bit about your background.
So I'll give you kind of the quick story on it. Started working out in high school. I hit a growth spurt, was super skinny, like 6'1", 140. Was kind of self-conscious, not super confident, basically wanted to start working out. And I fell in love with it. And once I went to college, I decided, hey, I want to be a personal trainer. Went to college to be a personal trainer. And then just so happened, when I was ready for an internship, a baseball coach in my hometown was actually opening up a facility where he was going to do baseball and softball indoors and have a little gym and group fit studio attached to it. So I got a hold of him. He gave me the opportunity. I moved back home, which is in Sandusky, Michigan, which is in the Thumb, very small country town. We have like 2,600 people in our town. And I started training clients, building up some clientele. And after a year and a half, he's like, hey, you're the fitness guy. I know nothing about fitness. Why don't you take over the gym and the group fit part of it? So I leased it from him in 2017, August of 2017. I was 23 years old. And the following December, he kind of got out of the coaching game, and I bought the whole facility from him. So starting out, 23, I obviously didn't know anything. I just knew that I wanted to help people. We did personal training. We did a lot of classes. I did some athletic training, and then we have the 24/7 access gym. So we had a little bit of everything. It was just kind of learning how to operate the actual business, how to price things, all that stuff. Over the years, I've worked with a lot of different mentors. And then last November, I was recommended to check out PT Legends, and I got on a call with you, and here we are.
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild journey, and like Dave has been taking you through the whole thing, and the greatest thing about when we started working together was just like, you just took action on everything right away. Like, you're just like, okay, teach me. All right. And then exactly how do I do it? And then you just went off like a rocket. Dave, like you took him through that whole process. How did that start out?
I think we first need to start, like, should I pump up his tires before like really getting into the juicy questions? So
I would hear, we were talking just a few minutes before this, and I was hearing some of the juicy bits. So yeah, let's hear it.
So this was when me, you, and Will, we locked ourselves in your office, like how gym owner freedom, like how we really define like the life-changing weekend, right? And so remember the question is like, okay, start answering questions about your one avatar client. Like if you like the one person that PT Legends is for. And T Hutch, I said you. So we started asking, like answering all of these questions, and mine was yours. It was T Hutch.
That's awesome.
So, dude, you're a guy that takes action. What I like about you, and there's a lot of gym owners out there, you came in with really good sales experience, number one, but specifically, what did you already sell pre-PT Legends? Do you remember?
I already was selling 6-week challenges.
He had that freaking thing dialed in. So there's so many other gym owners out there. They felt pretty comfortable selling, the 6-week program. Okay. So it was so easy with T Hutch out of the gate. Like, do you remember that first conversation we had when we built out your pricing menu? How easy was it? Because I think pre-PTL, what was your price sheet? Kind of walk us through all of the different options that you had.
Yeah. So we had, basically, it was just group or PT and then the gym. And our gym, $40 a month. Group, they could do 2 a week, was $116 a month. 3 a week, $156. Straight out of Hormozy playbook on that. So I did raise those over the years, which the group was like a decent price. But then as far as high ticket goes, we really didn't have any high ticket. So we did do some 6-week challenges. Typically we'd run like 2 a year. We'd have like a big 6-week where a big group would go $399, win your money back at the end if you achieved your goal. And actually I had gotten pretty good at selling it because I think we took 150 people through the challenges over the years. And I've had 2 people take me up on actually winning their money back. Every other person credited their amount forward and kept working with us. So that was pretty cool. So I had that experience, but we didn't have much for continuation. Like after that 6-week, oh yeah, I want to credit my amount forward. I want to do some group classes. But then 6 months down the road, they weren't making any progress, or they fall off track. And that's where we talked, Dave, where it was like this program now where we have the higher ticket, we have the habits coaching, focusing on the hours outside of the gym. This is the first time in 7 years that I actually feel like I'm changing lives and not just supplying workouts. So
do you see what you did there, T Hutch? You gave everybody watching a little pitch talk. That's how you pitch. Like that's the key, guy. Like he's like, I had a 6-week program before and it was cool and I sold it and people saw some good results. What was the key word? And that's what we did, T Hutch, together. It's like we built a program that you believe could change people's lives. And that's the difference, guys, between a 6-week program where you can add in some accountability and people see some good results. And if you do it right and you fulfill it right, like, people come out into that 6 weeks and you don't have to give them a refund, which is a great first step. But are you changing lives? And that's where I think after our first conversation, you're like, holy crap, I have something on my menu that's going to change lives. Was that the moment that changed everything for you? You're like, okay, now I have a program that is going to change my local community. Was that the moment where you're like, okay, everything changed?
Yeah, for sure. Really focusing on like just even putting in perspective, like wording it, hey, we're working on the 165 hours you're not in here with us. I'm like, we have never really focused on that. Like, yeah, we give them a nutrition plan. We say, hey, track your stuff in MyFitnessPal. We check in with you every once in a while when you're at the gym, but there was not like with the tracker actually being able to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to, all that stuff, where we finally feel like we're actually making a difference inside and outside of the gym, mentally and physically. So
I love it, dude. So good. So like, let's talk about your current pricing menu because it's freaking dialed in. Okay. So walk everyone through, like give them a little PTL training of what does your price menu look like now?
Yeah. So soon as you open up, our pricing binder, we've got the transformations. We have 3 options. So we have the executive, which is the private training, 3 a week. They can do classes with it. We have done for you meals with Icon, where we're going to supply their lunches and dinners. That's $6K. And then the step down from that is our very similar option, the accelerator, which is just without the meals, 3 a week private for $3K. And then we have our transformation, which is the large group option. So instead of one-on-one, it's large group, which is $2K. So those are the high ticket 63-day transformations. And then the Tom Brady offer, the 6-week challenge, we've got a one-on-one variant, which is $12.99. So they're doing 3 one-on-one trainings a week. They're getting a weekly check-in, the habit tracker, a nutrition plan. Basically, we're providing accountability, working on the big 3, major habits that they need to work on outside of the gym. Plus, we're giving them the workouts in the gym. And then if they didn't want to do a one-on-one, they could do a group option of the 6-week for $6.99. So our 6-week went from $3.99, it's basically the same thing, up to $6.99, and it's not a win your money back. And it sells like so easy because we're price anchoring with the 63-day, saying, hey, this program changes lives. And if it's completely out of the question for them, if they just can't afford it, or if they want to start, and kind of see what we're all about, we want to earn their trust. I'll kind of go to the 6-week, hey, this is a lighter version, still 80% of what you get in the 63-day, but it's less than half the cost. And people are just snagging it up, no problem. So
that's brilliant. Where so many people are struggling selling like a 6-week challenge, maybe at $3.99, $4.99, $5.99 max, right? It's just like you raised it to you went from $3.99 to $6.99. And people like that's your lowest thing that really gets presented for the most part. And people boom. And that's the power of having a truly high ticket. Because a lot of people think that $5.99 6-week thing is high ticket. It's not. Nope. And that can be a grind even, but like that's a good mid-ticket offer. Something like that, which you've raised it to $6.99 for group, which is fantastic. What was it in your PT? $12.99?
Yep.
That's fantastic. I mean, you're over $200 a week right there, which is insane, right? And yeah, it just works because when you're price anchoring at $2,000, $3,000, $6,000, when you phrase it just like you did, it's like we had this other option. It's going to be 80% plus of what you get, going to be everything that you need to get to your goals. All the workouts, building a custom nutrition plan for you, and the accountability to make sure you do it. And it's less than half the cost. Right. So if you can't get them on the high ticket, such a freaking no brainer. And that's what you got to do. Your no brainer can't be $130 a month. Like that's going to be so hard for you to build a viable business on. It's always going to be a struggle. But if you have it where you've got it, man, it changes the game.
It feels like what was that, Mr. Miyagi? Like Daniel-san just took over right there. Like, guys, if your price sheet doesn't look like this, how much easier is it for you to sell it to with this just simplistic approach, right? Like it's an A-B bucket, right? Like how much easier is it for you? Or should I say, how much more conviction, certainty, and confidence do you have with this simplified approach to selling fitness?
It's way different. I was already pretty high conviction before, and now it's just even higher, especially because, like I said before, we were definitely getting people results, but it was kind of a quick fix. Like we weren't guaranteeing them that they were going to keep those results forever. So now, knowing that, okay, if you go through the 63-day, or even if you go through the 6-week, I'm super confident that you're going to come out and you're actually going to get some of these habits to stick, and you're going to continue making results, especially with you guys teaching us like the recurring, like getting them in at week 4 for the 6-week, at week 6 on the 9-week, and sitting down with them and planning out, okay, what's the next step? Where do you really want to get to? Are we making strides toward becoming that person? And then you're already setting them up for the next part of the phase before they're even done with it. So that's all stuff that we were not doing before that gives us way more conviction when we are doing it.
Yeah. And not crediting back their money to, not needing to do it. That doesn't even make any sense. I always hated that thing. You know what I mean? It's free, not really, but it can be. If we do a really good job, we'll give you your money. It doesn't make any sense, right? And the cool thing with this is like, it's just not needed. It's just not needed. It'll be more valuable to them when they're paying more money, right? They have more skin in the game. They're more invested in the results. And then, you've got a method to help them change these habits for good. And I love it because you've just adopted everything from building out the offers to learning how to sell them like a freaking champ. And now you're hitting the fulfillment and renewal process, and you're converting them into 6 to 12 month EFTs, which is fantastic. That was like pulling teeth with old 6-week challenges. Like renewal rates have been dismal for business. Anybody running 6-week challenges, it's like a churn factory that they just can't get out of. So I love that you're knocking these down, because as that EFT just starts piling with those kind of prices, holy shit. Because you've only been doing this for a few months. And we were kind of talking, you were giving me some high level numbers of just how it's changed over those few months. And wait till you get into this and you're doing it for 6 months, you're doing it for 12 months. It's going to be nuts. But what are some of the results that you started to see just by implementing these different offers?
Yeah. So I was telling you last year, our average revenue per month was like 27,500 on average. So far this year, I know it's not the end of the month yet, but we're looking at about an average of 34. So about a 20% increase so far this year. And that's over, I'm comparing this directly to last year's, January, February, March, which are usually busier months anyways. We're looking at about a 20% increase. So that's really cool. We've done about a little over 47,000 in mentorships, both the 6-week and the 63-day total since starting with you guys in 5 or 6 months. So if you broke it down, you're looking at like a $7,000 to $8,000 a month increase from adopting this model.
That's incredible. No more leads than you're already getting. Like it's the same thing. It's just what you're doing is different and what you're offering is different. And you've seen, 20% increase year over year, and you're just getting started. Wait till all these new ones start renewing more. That's, oh man, just give it a few more months and it stacks on top of that. It's going to be incredible. And
I do want to point out, I mentioned I'm in a really small town, country town, 2,600 people. I'm the only gym in like a 15-mile radius. There's been no gym that's ever made it in my town before. Every other one that's tried has failed. And, even if I never sold a mentorship, like the 63-day mentorship, we've done, out of the 47,000, 30,000 was 6-week challenges. And then 17 was a 63-day. So if there's anybody that's like, I could never sell a $2,000 or $3,000 mentorship, realistically, you wouldn't have to. And you guys mentioned this, like having it on your pricing binder and presenting it is that price anchor. And then when you go down to that 6-week option, it's double what I was charging, but it sells so much easier. And people think that they're getting a deal, you know what I mean? Compared to like the 63-day. So that's been a pretty awesome realization too, is like we could never sell a 63-day and we're still going to increase our revenue like dramatically over what it was.
Hey, just a quick reminder to everybody, if you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 more this month, every month, by making more money with less clients with transformational programs and create a consistent flow of high quality leads, you can learn more about what it's like to work with me and my team at PT Legends and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. It is such a no-brainer that it more than pays for itself when we teach you how to enroll just two case study clients. Really, that's it. So go to CoachScottCarpenter.com and learn more about it.
That's the cool thing. Yeah, people are really intimidated by selling something that's $2,000, $3,000, $6,000. You don't even have to. If you just have that as the price anchor, and then you have your Tom Brady mid-ticket offer that is $5.99 or $6.99 to $12.99, you can sell them so much easier just by having that. And that's what I love. That's Dave. Like, you're a master at helping people that aren't as confident in sales really do that. And then once they start doing that, then they start selling the high ticket, they get the confidence after. So it's really cool to see. Mm-hmm. Really cool to see. And I think one of the best things, Taylor, is that you were just starting to tell me about it before. And Dave, so you started to work with one of Taylor's staff members to teach them how to sell it, right?
Yes. This is like the next, I think this is the next thing that we're going to do with PTL. Like, it's not enough just to train gym owners how to do this, right? Because at the end of the day, like, we have freedom. I have William Wallace on my shirt. Like, freedom isn't being in the captain's chair selling these high ticket programs. And for some gym owners out there, maybe that is something, but I would guess for 99% of them, like, they're not going to want to do that forever. So like, the next phase, and Taylor's actually one of the first gyms to do this, is we're teaching he's Batman. We're teaching the Robin. So Bethany, like, let's face it, I give you a hard time, Taylor. Like, she might be better at selling this program than you at this point. She just went through the 8-week cohort, and I believe at this point she's already sold 3 or 4 transformations. But yeah, just kind of give us like how is Bethany coming in and being a big time role? Like, how is that impacting your life and your business?
It's insane, actually. So, I gave her the entrepreneurial opportunity, 2 years ago when she was 19 years old. So I don't know if you know this, she's only 21 years old. She's been training with me for 2 years. And she's just like, kind of reminds me of myself, like, really eager to learn new things, really wants to learn about sales. She's always listening to podcasts and reading books and all this stuff. And so she was very interested in learning the sales. And so when she jumped in with you guys, and she just must be able to relate with a lot of these ladies and connect with them. And she is crushing it. She's sold more 63-day transformations than I have. We do about 50-50 for consultations. So for gym owners out there, like, you don't have to be the only one putting in a ton of hours. If you have a good coach that you can trust and that wants to build up their clientele and is eager to go out there and chase it. Like, Bethany is a clear example of creating her own kind of clientele, how many, people she wants to work with, how much income she wants to make. She's exceeding her expectations for her income so far, which is amazing. Plus it's helping the gym, plus she's changing lives. So, I have the freedom to kind of step back a little bit. I don't take on any of the PT clients. I really don't do any of the accountability coaching. Usually I'll just do probably half, maybe a little bit more than half the consults. And then I'm feeding my clients or my coaches, those clients. So they're the fulfillment end, they're working with them. So that's been a game changer for me. I'm really been able to focus more on the business side, doing a lot more of the marketing and the creating the content and more of just the sales. And then I've also mentioned to you guys, we may be still opening up a second location, which I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have coaches that were trained and knowledgeable to run those parts of the business that I would still have to be doing if they weren't trained on that.
That's beautiful. Because, man, like, Dave and I are both wearing the Gym Owner Freedom shirts. That is what we stand for, man. So many of us get into this business because we're passionate about health and fitness and we want to help other people do it. And then we realize how freaking hard that is and how few people actually see results. And then you got personal guarantees and you got staff that leaves and you got this and you got that. And you're just working 40 to 60 hours. And what you did because you wanted to do it, have that kind of freedom, right? It's just like, it's now sucking your soul quite often. We just feel stuck and trapped by our business. And number one, prices are super important to be able to get out of that. Most of us don't run our businesses to have the ability to get out. It's just mathematically, we're just kind of screwed. And when you fix that, it's you have the opportunity to give awesome paychecks and this and that. And the cool thing is yes, the next step is then training them on how to replace yourself. And it's very hard to do by yourself unless you can plan on 3 to 5 hours a week to really train them. And the cool thing is when we get to train your guys as people and free you guys up, that's the coolest thing in the world, because that's when that gym owner freedom really comes in. Yes, it's the money, but it's also the time to enjoy it and the freedom to just do the things that you really want to do in business and kind of hand off the things that you don't want to do as much. So that is so cool. And like, how old are you two as well?
I'm 28.
28. And I didn't realize Bethany was only 21 and you're teaching her how to sell. Like, this should shatter a lot of false beliefs that gym owners have. People in my area can't afford to do it, would never pay that. Or I'm in a really small rural area. Your town is what, 2,600? If it works in Sandusky, Michigan, it can work where you're at, for sure. And then you've got somebody who's 21 years old selling this and delivering mentorship and guiding people who are probably in their 30s, 40s, 50s. And you're only 28. She's only 21. And you're handing off a lot of the accountability on that mentorship stuff too. That's with the nutrition. That's incredible to see that you're doing this already. And you've only been doing this for like what? This is your 4th month, probably, something like that.
5 months, probably. Yeah.
Month 5. Yeah. It's incredible, the progress. Incredible. What's been your favorite part of it, Dave?
Here's the thing, like everything that we're talking about here today is awesome. But Taylor took action from day one. Like, yeah, that's the hardest part of this. Like, this is still a hard game to play. Like, what we're just talking about here today is like, it's really simple, really freaking simple. Fix your price sheet, build an offer that you really truly believe can change lives, have an accountability offer, then have a training only offer. Like, that part is easy. But like, the hard part was putting in the work. And here's the thing with T Hutch, he's still on every single one of our sales calls. Doesn't miss. Like, he missed for last Friday, and he's like,
last Friday, I felt so bad because I had quarterfinals, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to miss my first sales call.
Yeah. So he shows up to the sales calls, and Bethany the same way. Like, she didn't miss a cohort call. So it just goes to show you, like, this is a simple freaking game, guys. It's so simple, but it's still, you still have to put in the work. And that's my favorite part with the T Hutch journey. It's they put in the work from the second that they signed on board, and that's why I won 1 million T Hutches.
Yeah, because you're right. We were sitting, you, Will, and I were sitting in our office, and we're like, let's dial this in. You know what I mean? We've worked with so many people and helped so many people. Let's dial in really what we're all about, what we stand for, what our mission is, what do we want to be known for? Which, by the way, we want to be the most trusted authority in the the fitness business coaching space. Like, we own 6 gyms. This is our passion. Like, we love doing this. And we don't sell shit to sell shit. We don't, we're not those kind of people. We go to war. Every single client that works with, we go to war with. Like T Hutch, like, you get to talk to us 3 times a week live. You know what I mean? Not just attend a call, but like, talk to us. And it's really every single gym owner that we help is so important to us. And I mean, we're just grateful that you started. And it's the people like you who just go in like, cool, teach me what I need to know. I'm going to show up. I'm going to put in the work. You guys have entirely new businesses in a very short period of time. In terms of revenue, definitely profitability, and then scalability, getting yourself out. It's awesome. Like, because when we were sitting there discussing like who embodies like who we want to work with, you, like, is what Dave said. I said, like, there was a few that quite a lot that popped up. But they all had one thing in common. They're all showing up to the calls and they all do the work. And you guys, everyone who does that and follows our system just absolutely annihilates it. So
love it, man.
It's been awesome. Dave, Taylor, anything else to add?
I was just going to add, what's been different about this mentorship, because I've done a lot of mentorships. I don't know if you want me to say them, but I've done.
We're an open book in this place.
Yeah. So I've gone through Gym Launch, Two Brain Business, and a couple other non-gym related mentors that are supposed to help with sales and marketing and leads and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, like, I've gotten value from them all, and I've learned stuff from them all, and all of them have moved my business up a level. But the personal attention that you get with you guys and having the sales calls every week and being able to interact, like, that has been the game changer. And what I appreciate the most is because, you go through the portal on the other programs and you kind of implement what they tell you, but you don't have anybody actually to talk to and ask questions and get feedback, and they're not actually helping you directly with your sales or your pitch or your marketing or whatever. It's kind of up to you to just try to figure it out. So that's been a game changer. And that's what I appreciate like the most, is having you guys actually invested in helping the gym owners along their journey. So don't ever stop doing that, because that's definitely my favorite part, is actually working hands-on with all of you guys. And it's actually kind of like an honor, because like you guys are the owners of it. So it's like, oh man, I get to work with the owners of this mentorship. Whereas like the other programs, you don't even know who they are. You don't hear from them or anything. So it's very cool. That's probably my favorite part. And then aside from just the actual programming of the transformation, everything built out to help you in every little aspect, from the call to getting them in for a consult, to the actual program, the fulfillment, the continuation, everything's, done for you, and you're working everybody through that process, which is freaking awesome. So I couldn't be happier with it.
That's amazing to hear, man. And the fulfillment side of it, it's not going away. Like we're not built to sign up 30 gyms a month. Like we just can't do it. That's not our vision, in terms of like, if we do that, we're keeping so much interaction, because that's what it takes every step of the way. I think we've all bought a program or signed up for this or this coaching program, whatever. And it seems easy when you're watching the videos and you go to implement, and you have all these questions, you're not sure, and you get paralysis. Like we've designed everything to take that away. Every step of the way and we constantly improve it to make it easier to do it. And we do it together. You're not lost, and that's really important to us, because like, it's why we call our quarterly masterminds our war rooms. Like you sign up, we go to war together. Dave and I work really, really hard on it. And if anybody's struggling, like we take it personally, and we roll up our sleeves and let's fix this thing, which isn't often thing, thank goodness. But yeah, that's awesome to hear that, Taylor. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Anything else, Dave?
Oh man, that's a good stopping point right there. Like I said, like just for the record, I did say T Hutch. You did not say T Hutch in our room. So like I'm guessing T Hutch probably likes me more after this Facebook Live. But seriously, T Hutch, we want 1 million of you, man. Like you're the exact type of person that we want going through PTL. It's just, you're living proof. If you follow the roadmap and you put in your blood, sweat, and tears, man, it's just, you can change lives, you can change communities, and you can change the industry. And I think that's what we're all on this call to do. It's to drastically impact maybe not fitness, maybe the world. Like I believe that. I believe with the transformational programs that we're creating, like we can truly change the world. So amazing.
Awesome. Well, Taylor, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about price sheets and your journey so far.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.